We like to listen to each other.
Starting at 5:30.
Yeah, I've got it written down.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to another
I have to write that
podcast
and what's on my bench down so I don't fucking forget to put the soundbite in there.
Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter
forgotten
Carr
it
of
too many
Peter's
times.
Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 56 of another Woodshop podcast. The A
Podcasts.
No, another.
Oh, podcast.
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 The A's are silent.
Podcasty,
All
yeah.
the A's are silent.
Can we start over?
Week.
This is a train wreck.
What's going on, boys? What's going on, Mike? Mike, what's going on?
Well, this week we have a
Oh.
sponsor,
Oh.
and guess who's back? Back again. That's MIRKA. MIRKA's sponsoring this week's episode. They
Thought it was shady.
Yeah. You were wrong, and you sound stupid for the read. No. They invented Dustless Sanding, and they wanted us to share that with you. So big thank you to MIRKA for sponsoring the show. They have the Barnett abrasives, which are great for sanding because the dust just goes right through the abrasive. So really nice. Makes what is really not the most enjoyable task in the world a little bit more enjoyable. So big thank you to MIRKA for sponsoring the show. They got great machines. We love them here. We all use them here. We think they're great. Pete, what were you going to say? I heard you click your
I want to chime in real fast. They really do make dustless sanding. I mean, did you guys see that reel that I put up of me using their 80 grit iridium with the Dados?
Why don't you use a scraper first?
Well, if you go back and watch that reel, like there's no dust in the air.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I need to watch it. I haven't even been paying attention to any content on Instagram.
Yeah, you've been busy. But
Did it slam through it?
Yeah, it slammed right through it.
It melted through
Yeah.
it. It didn't even look like that.
And I
video
did it
does.
with one sheet of paper. Like, it was perfect after I was done.
I actually have some of that iridium. I really need to
It's amazing.
use
Is
it.
that different than the Ace HD? Because the Ace HD is.
The
iridium's actually a solid, like
paper.
traditional paper.
Oh, I gotta
It's
try
not
that.
net. Yeah.
Oh, I've not tried that yet. Okay.
It's noise. But
Well, guys, look at the
needless to
selection
say-
MIRKA has.
the lineup, the men want to be it and women want to be with it. No, Pete.
Yeah.
Someone else sponsors the show too.
Yes,
Yes.
and a huge shout out to our patrons over at Patreon that help support the show, bring you guys amazing content behind the scenes. If you want to get all this wonderful content several days early, Mike usually drops the pod in the podcast catcher literally the next day or the same night of the recording, and usually the day after you get, or day after, so over the weekend you get the pre-show and you get the video before everyone else does on Wednesday. So if you missed the live, it's fine, you still get to watch it over the weekend. So make sure to check us out on patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast. And Mike, I do believe we have some new peeps this week.
Yeah, couple new patrons this week. Mike, I'm not going to give out his email, even though I was just about to accidentally do that. Big thanks to Mike. Pete knows him through
Well, you can
Instagram.
say part of it. It's
Pix to Proto.
Yeah.
Mike
Pictures
over
to
at Pix to
Prototype.
Proto. Oh, that's cool. I get that. That's good name. And then Ryan Rickleton, he also became a patron. So big thanks to the two new patrons. Thanks for joining the family. Thanks for supporting the show. We really appreciate you guys for doing that.
Actually, wait, it's pixels to Prototype, not pictures. He's not like a trendy girl. It doesn't say pics. Never mind.
I'm glad we were able to make that correction because everyone's going to be mad at us. So.
Yo, Mike, since you're talking, Dan, what's on the bench?
My bench?
Yeah.
What's on my bench? Well, actually nothing. I've been working on location for the last week at my client's house. I'm doing that basement build out finally. I installed his cabinets, the lowers and the uppers. They look phenomenal. That Kim Aqua came out so good. So good.
Yeah, that came out nice.
It's so good, in fact, that after my wife saw them and she saw them installed in the picture, she was like, hey, what about redoing our kitchen?
Ooh, you're goofed.
I've only been asking to do that for like 9 years. Now you want to do it? Now you trust me because I made some nice cabinets for somebody else? So, yeah, it looks like I'll be remodeling our kitchen sometime this summer.
That's gonna be
and sick. Today I went there this morning and I started putting up the trim around the baseboard trim.
Some nice trim.
It was nice until I got done, and he called me and he said, "Hey, by the way, you forgot to leave a 1/4 inch for the carpet because I haven't put carpet in there yet." And I was like,
Bummer.
"Oh my God, what a rookie mistake." Super bummed.
That sucks, dude.
So I got to go back tomorrow and rectify the situation. But he called back yet again and he said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't we just take the trim off? We'll number it because it should all fit back in the right order. And we'll put it back up after the carpet's installed." And I'm like, that's actually a pretty good idea. Let's do that. So it actually turned out okay.
Nice.
What I'm thankful for is, like, after I put in all the trim, I actually thought about using caulk to seal the seams, and the little gaps. And I thought, nah, I think I'll wait. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm so glad I did.
Oh,
like,
man,
that would have been a nightmare if I would have done it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's basically what's on my bench. Not a whole lot going on. Just working on that basement. What about you, Mike?
This week's been pretty wild. Still working on that just really kind of getting going on that ash coffee table. It's been kind of a hard week to actually spend any time on it just because it's been really busy. But I've got that ash coffee table. I'm hoping to have all the final cuts to dimension done this weekend. And it'd be really nice to actually do the first dry assembly this week because I also have to stain that thing, which I've never done before. So, well, I've stained one other thing. So should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'm not actually worried about it. I'm sure it'll go just fine. But, anytime you do anything new, it's kind of like a little bit of uneasiness. But it's going to come out good. I'm going to spray that thing with poly. And I can't wait to get that one out of here so I can start on their next table because I got 2 tables for that couple. So, and they've been great.
Nice.
Also, Etsy's been really crazy this week. It just keeps, I'm so thankful for that. Like, Etsy just keeps doing better and better. It's just really picking up really quick. So that's been really good. Really excited about that. I think I mentioned it last week because I think I've been working on this for a couple weeks. I'm migrating my website from Wix to WordPress just because I want more customization and more options. And a friend of mine, she does my graphic artist stuff. She's not familiar with Wix at all, but she is familiar with WordPress. So she's able to get in there and help me do stuff when I get really blocked up and can't figure things out. So she's been in there taking care of some items, getting some things figured out after I goof them. So, but I've been actually setting it up because I want to learn how to actually use WordPress so I can, in case something happens to her or it's the middle of the night, I can actually fix something kind of if it's like not too glaring. And then I bought a carport, one of those like cheap canvas carports because I'm just completely out of space in my shop.
Which major brand?
Amazon. I don't know what the brand name is.
You didn't go with Harbor Fruget?
No, I didn't go with theirs. It actually had it actually had really bad ratings. Shocking. So I went with one on, and the bad ratings kind of threw it for me, but I haven't had any time to leave my house. Amazon's was like $25 more, and it gets delivered to my house. So well worth the time for me. So I had that delivered. I got that like mostly assembled, but the rest of it I can't do by myself. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. I'm going to be storing a bunch of walnut and ash and slabs in there. I got to get the stuff out of my shop.
Is it a sidewalls?
Are you?
Yeah, it's fully enclosed.
Oh.
Are you putting that on in your side yard there?
Yeah, right behind the shop there. But it'll be right in front of the shed.
Okay.
It's a good thing you live in a trailer park, so your neighbors won't mind.
It's going to be nice. It'll match my neighbor's yard.
It'll definitely match the neighbor's yard. It'll match the fence.
I'm gonna it'll match the fence for sure. So yeah, it's nice. It's real high class. So I got that. That's gonna be stored. I'm gonna put all that lumber in there. I gotta get that stuff out of the shop. It's just I'm completely out of space. So and walnut's getting harder and harder to get, and I sell a lot of items that are walnut. So I bought a skid of that from MacBeath. Hey
Mike, what is a skid for all the people that don't know? Aside from a drug addict,
is a pallet, and it's 500 board feet basically. So
thank you. I learned that today. That's why I pointed out.
It's 500 board feet are coming on Monday, and then a bunch of plywood and I had a big list for Rusty over at MacBeath, and they are delivering that Monday. And I actually took Monday off because I'm just trying to get caught up. So I got Monday off. I have a lot of vacation for my day job. There's a lot of changes coming over the next few months. I'll go into that more, but I've got a lot of vacation right now, and I'm going to be taking more and more time off at work, so I can get caught up with things at Coffee Custom Builds. What else? Oh, and then I've been kind of alluding to this big job that I've been trying to get. It's a commercial job. It's the first commercial job I've done. It's a big job, a very big job. I was working on it a month or two ago, and the general contractor actually approved me, and we've been waiting for the owners to approve me and my proposal, and they actually approved me yesterday, which is awesome. So I'm going to be I've got the contract. I'm waiting. I have a couple subcontractors I'm working with for that. I have to wait to make sure that they meet the insurance requirements for the job, and then I'll be signing that Monday or Tuesday, depending on when they get back to me. So really looking forward to that job. It's a little bit scary. It's a big leap for me and Coffee Custom Builds, but what's up, Dan?
I was going to say, that's how you know it's a legit job, because you had to write up a proposal.
Yep.
Like you didn't just say like, well, I could do this for such and such. You had to write a legit proposal. Yeah,
I had to write a proposal for all the aspects too, because they're actually, and I haven't gone into this, so I'm really excited to be able to talk about this now. But they're actually, I'm consulting. They're having me come in to consult. I'm meeting with the interior designer and the project manager I'm working with. Which so far the project manager guy has been his name. Well, it doesn't matter. He's been really great to deal with. He's been very really straightforward. So no BS. Everything's been really nice so far. So I'm going to meet with him and the interior designer guy. We're going to be meeting at the slab yard where I go. I've mentioned them before, Urban Wood Rescue. We're going to be going there, picking out and buying a slab. And then the thing hasn't even been designed. So there's a lot of questions on what this thing's actually going to look like. But it's a conference table for a office in the penthouse of a mid-rise building in downtown Sacramento. So the building's not done yet. It should be done next month. And I'm supposed to deliver at the end of June, middle of July. There's no real set date on that either, which is kind of interesting as well. So I got to get those sort of details lined up before things progress. But I'm definitely going to be utilizing my cousin, which goes into what's going on tomorrow. I got my cousin coming in again. He's been helping me on the weekends just to stay caught up. It's just been getting really busy. So I currently have, not including that big table, I have 6 table commissions. Just crazy to say out loud, but I got 6 table commissions right now, and it's just getting really busy. And then Etsy keeps creeping up, and I'm just trying to do much other stuff. So it's nice to be able to have enough to keep.
You almost need to just focus solely on Coffee Custom Builds and nothing else.
It's starting to look like that, huh?
Yeah,
that is.
It's really starting to look like that.
Dan, you really held out longer than we thought.
Yeah, I know.
We both had money on January 1st.
I know.
I'm dying. Send help.
Yeah. So I had a busy week with house hunting. We found a house that came out on the market on Sunday, so we basically rushed to see it. Put an offer in. They said, "We're gonna keep showing the house, but thanks for the offer." They didn't say no, so we upped the offer. We're still waiting.
And then they pat your offer on the head.
Basically, they're like, "Oh, this is cute. You guys are cute." Anyways, we're still gonna look at the big dogs here. So tomorrow's the final best offer day deadline, that's how crazy it is. Houses go to market for a week
might work out, dude. It might work out.
It might work out. And if it does, fantastic. If it doesn't, we keep looking. We're actually going to try to line up some houses maybe for Sunday too. Here it's a holiday, but I mean, I still want to see houses. Let's do it. So there's that. That's been a lot of stress and annoyances and phone calls and things like that. But that's just buying a house these days. Aside from that, I've been doing, it's been like maintenance week in my house. So I've been doing maintenance on my printers, just some tuning, oiling. Actually did some maintenance on my CNC as well, while I was carving some trays and other things. And I was also restoring a couple of Stanley hand planes. So I have a Stanley Sweetheart number 3 that I just fully restored. I got so annoyed last night. I go to start assembling this thing. It's all done. All the hardware's cleaned up. I put the pin in that holds the what's the right handle? The big one in the back, the hilt? Is that what it's called? Doesn't matter.
It's for a sword, I think.
Whatever.
I couldn't tell you.
The handle that goes in the back of the plane, I literally just put the screw through, and as it's going
called a shuck.
A shuck. Sure, why not?
It's called a shuck. And then the other one's called a fit.
A fit.
The big handle's a shuck, and the small handle's a fit.
Oh.
Yep, a shuck and fit.
Fit and shuck. Got it.
And shuck. Don't mix up those letters. And I literally put it through, and the handle just opens up. It doesn't like pop open, nothing. It just opens up, and I realized it must have cracked at some point, and the only thing holding it together was the finish I sprayed on it months ago. So, Star Bond to the rescue. I just Star Bonded it because I'm going for function over form, or yeah, that's the one, right? I don't care if it's pretty. I just need it to work. But lapping the bottom of that plane was a pain in the butt. Big shout out to the community. They helped me out. Hey, that was a good phrase. They helped me out with how to. I was like trying to buy long pieces of sandpaper, and somebody was like, "Dude, don't you have a drum sander? You have long paper already in the house." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That back handle is called the tote.
The tote. Thank you. I still like the whatever.
I heard you typing away. I was like, "What is he looking up?"
It's like coding.
So it's not called a shuck. Okay.
A shout. Yeah. Whatever.
I was way off.
So I did that, restored the number 3. It cuts like a dream. I love it. I've wanted a smoother plane for a long time. So number 3 is a little narrower and shorter than a 4. I'm comparing. I don't know. If you don't know planes, you don't know planes. But it's a great plane to have. The next one I have is number 7. It's really rusted and it's not flat. And I hate myself for the fact that I wanted to restore it. But I got.
But it's a number 7. That's a big boy.
It's a big boy.
7's gonna be sick.
I already sharpened the blade,
what
so
brand?
it's like it's a Stanley as well.
Stanley, nice.
Yeah, it's not a Sweetheart, but it's a Stanley and it's an older one. So I'm just.
But
down
it's
to
like
restore
Stan Lee, the guy who made Marvel comics.
Yeah, Stanley. His face is on it.
Yeah. Excelsior.
Yeah, it's on. I was really stoked for the Sweetheart because that one I got for like $5 somewhere.
Oh,
and then I cleaned off the
nice.
rust, and so that little heart on there, so made me so happy. So that's restored. Throwing number 7 up on the bench this week while I already started working on it. And aside from that, I'm going back to prototyping. I finally got caught up on orders. I was telling the guys earlier that I saw like a plateau or a dip in my orders the last 2 weeks. So I've taken out time to like get into Fusion again, start prototyping, knock out some projects, and I'm actually getting to print some stuff that I want to do for other things. Like I printed some stuff for the laser, some random fun projects for around the house and whatnot. But that's kind of the main part. I've been trying to get back more into designing, like Fusion, especially because I paid for the year of Fusion, but I feel like I'm not using it enough. And I really want to be getting my money's worth. Plus, the holidays gave me this false sense of like, hey, this is going great. Like this could like pay my mortgage. And then like sales started dipping after the holidays, and I'm like,
there was like a whisper during the holidays. There was like a whisper of you maybe going full time because you were so like on a high.
There was
the orders you had.
So here's the thing. There was a really rough patch at work around the holidays, and there was threatening of quitting from not just myself but other coworkers, because it was it was still like heart of COVID times and stuff, and our job was expecting us to be like on site in hospitals and whatever, and we're like, we're IT, we don't need to be there. Whatever. That's
if anyone can be off site, it's IT.
Yeah, someone actually did quit a few weeks after, so they had left at this point. That's why Jake's working with me. But
That's awesome.
The thing is, like, we talk about this a lot. Like, Dan does this as a full-time job. Mike's trying to go full-time. I'm very much the hobbyist, and I like wanted to for a while. I started thinking like, well, I could take this full-time. I'm getting enough inquiries. I actually turn people away because like I have a full-time job and other crap going on. I really don't feel like taking on more work. So like, I'll be the hobbyist of the group. Hope you guys don't mind.
No, that's perfect for you.
Yeah, thanks. But that was basically it. Like, I mean, I could take on more work, and yeah, this could become a full-time thing. But I'd rather go to content creator route slowly and just like develop that, and then just have like some sales on the side, like with 3D printing or whatever. But I do need to get back into Fusion and start designing things because I need more things on Etsy to just keep that thing going. It's not like I took a big dip, but it's stuff where I'm like keeping up with orders easily. So let's make more stuff. Right, Mike?
Can you design something that will pull nails out of huge slabs that just ruined your slab flattening bits?
No, sorry. You have to do that.
Okay.
You have to do that by hand, Mike.
Yeah.
You didn't even mention that.
Dumb. I know I didn't mention that. It's just, I mean, yeah, right before we came on the show. Well, actually, so
somebody Cremona'd his slab.
Yeah. So two things. I made that sign. I made that sign for Max Jensen, and I thought it came out really good. And shipped it to Max, and he's a patron, but he commissioned me to make his logo on a big sign with epoxy, and he got it to his house, and UPS broke it in 3 spots. Like they cracked it in 3 different spots, which is really frustrating. And then after getting that news, I go in to start working on this giant elm slab I have on my CNC, and I hear a weird noise when it's running. I'm like, oh, what is that? And I'm like, oh man, there's metal there. And there was 4 nails in the slab I was flattening. Completely ruined the carbide teeth. Well, I actually haven't even looked at that teeth. I just moved the gantry out of the way and started going at getting the nails out of there. So I'm gonna run magnets down the rest of it that hasn't been cut into and see if there's any more nails in there.
So we give Harbor Freight a lot of crap, but they sell a metal detector that works pretty well.
Actually,
it's pretty cheap.
They do?
That's a pretty
a handheld metal detector. Yeah.
Like it's
Is
like
it
a
also
wand.
just magnets. Yeah. Oh, that one. That's the one that is
but
that
it'll
the one
detect
Jackman uses?
aluminum nails too.
Aluminium.
Yeah.
Dan hates it because it's British.
I don't know what that means. But anyways, those nails you hit, they weren't just like standard nails. I mean, they were big boys,
like
16 penny nails, right?
So 3, there was 4. 3 of them were pretty small nails, but one of them's a big, like 16 penny framing nail. I don't even know how many. I can't find my pair of dikes. That's the only thing I can think to like get on there and like really pull it out. But I'm gonna have to just drill around it, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
tear
totally.
out
That's what I would do.
Huge bummer.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a plan. That's what's going on this week. Should we jump into some questions here?
Hell yeah.
Whoa,
this is a family show.
Heck yeah. Sorry, I'll tone it down.
Go team. All right. This first one's from Adam Barnett. He has this to ask.
Hey guys, Adam here from Barnett Custom Woodworks. So I started a YouTube channel. I made a couple uploads. Not really sure what I'm doing though. I was wondering if you guys could elaborate on the right time of the day, the amount and frequency of your content that works best, the thing. I don't know the YouTube algorithm, so I was wondering if you guys had some tips for the beginner. Hey, this is something that I did a lot in the beginning and it was stupid. Don't do this. Or, hey, I've done this and it's great. And definitely make sure you do this in the beginning. So it's all new to me. It's weird uploading stuff. And, I remember when YouTube was created, so it's really weird that I'm just now uploading my first YouTube videos. But, so if you could share your tips and not just the tip, I would appreciate it.
Pete, give him your tips.
Well, my only tip being that I've also started within the last year is post as much as you can consistently. It doesn't all have to be gold. I hold myself to a very high standard, and I watch a lot of very good YouTubers like this Coffee Custom Builds and Dunlap something, whatever. I blank on the names. I'll link below. And it prevented me from putting out any content because I wanted it to be the best possible thing, and it really didn't need to be that out of the gate. You just want to post consistently. YouTube does an incredible job of metrics, and it literally shows you a chart that if the days you post, whether it's a short, which by the way, post shorts, that's my number 1 tip, post shorts, because that's an easy way to start building your channel. You see these little spikes of views, and all of that counts. So you want to start throwing content up there. Shorts are a great way to get started, to start filling up your page, and then start do like one of the things I'm shooting within the next week or so is a YouTube channel trailer, like the thing that people see sometimes when they go to your website or your page, and it's like, hey, Pete, I do junk and stuff. Fits.
You should go with that.
Whatever.
No, you said it. You said.
Mark that.
You said the Shucks and fits. You said the wrong one. Let me just pencil that in there.
Got that? Right.
Can you just bleep it? Because I want to keep the laughing.
That was great. Oh, I'm just going to bleep it for sure.
Just bleep it. We're not cutting it.
Bleep. It's actually just going to be that moan you want in there.
Fudge it. We're doing it live. Fudge it. But yeah, just throw stuff up there. Honestly, I was getting too much in my own head, and you just need to be up there, and a community. I mean, you're a member of the community. You talk to people. people are gonna go and see it. They know who you are. So, Dan, you're the foremost expert in a group on YouTube.
I am not the foremost expert.
Well,
I
tell
believe
us
that
what you
title
know.
goes to Mike.
How do you go viral, Dan? Go.
I wish I could tell you. Nobody knows.
I'm saving the best
Wouldn't
for
that be
last.
amazing if someone knew?
Nobody
All right,
what you gotta
knows.
do.
So
Nobody
you're gonna
knows the
find out.
algorithm.
You're gonna find out
I-
here.
I'm certainly not the foremost guy. I have the video with the most views, I think, but that doesn't mean jack.
1.2 million. No big deal.
No big deal. Like 6 of them, but whatever.
I thought we were talking about YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
what's
have-
your-
YouTube.
do you have-
1.2 million?
You have 1.2 million now on a views
Yeah.
on a video?
on a short.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
1.4
count.
wow.
It's a short. It
1.4
doesn't count.
million. It doesn't count. It's a short.
Yeah.
I don't have the
Anyway,
real big ones.
like Pete said, just post a lot, post often, and try to keep up with it. I think that's the best you could do. And then try to get better at what you're doing. You know, try to grow your skill set there. That's the best I can give you, unless Mike has something. Mike, you got something?
I mean, I have my insights, but no one knows, right? No one knows. Even the people who are doing really well, they don't know. They are doing, I think the people who do the best are the ones that kind of stick to their gut. Like they just do what they think they need to be doing and it does well. And I think personality has a lot to do with
Personality has
content.
a bunch to do with it.
So you look at like, I mean, on paper, Tamar's videos, you think if you're a content creator, especially coming from Instagram, you look at Tamar's videos, not her videos themselves,
Tamar
but the actual,
is-
like they're 3x3 custom. Her videos are all very long, and like as a content creator, you're like, man, how do people keep? But she kills it. She absolutely just kills it on every video. They're so good, and it's because there's a lot of factors. Like if you're watching a boring person for 24 minutes, you're out as soon as you can get out. But Tamar's so relatable. I think her thing is that she's so relatable, and that's because it's who she is. So you wanna watch how she's doing this stuff, and she talks very naturally in her video. And there's a lot of talking head. There's not like a ton of VO or voiceover. So I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying you shouldn't do what other people do. It works for Tamar because that's who she is. So it works for her. So there's a lot of things like, basically what I'm saying, Adam, is no one knows the answer. There's like best practices stuff. And the cool thing about YouTube that it's just so much better than Instagram because there's so many analytics. There's so many ways you can deep dive into the numbers and be like, oh, this is doing this here. And when you're like figuring out your title, you can actually go into like this search. There's all these different things out there where you can like I think a lot of people think that the thumbnail is the most important thing. I don't agree. I think the title is more important than anything in terms of like the best practices stuff. I think the title, there's videos with millions and millions of views that don't even have a manufactured thumbnail. They're just a shot from within the video. Like I think they make your channel look clean when people are viewing your channel, but I don't think they're the actually driving force for what's making these videos become huge.
Honestly,
think there's a lot more
thumbnails can be
factors.
fun. That's actually one of the
Thumbnails are great.
Yeah,
I like
I
work.
love
I
doing
like making
thumbnails
them.
now.
It's enjoyable. Yeah, like I really
Make
enjoy
them
them. Like,
little
make them look nice.
clickbaity, little funny. Always
Yeah, you
shock.
got there's this like there's like a rumor thing that if like there's a picture of you or someone's face with their mouth open, the video performs better. The videos like
why?
with the thumbnails where no, not like shake weights and stuff. But no, but there's this thing like
We've already
where
got to
videos
bleep you
with-
once, Pete.
we don't want to have to throw
Poo.
censor blurs on your hands.
Pixelate Pete.
Pixelated,
blurry Pete.
Pixel Pete.
pixelated.
Yeah.
Write that down. So I don't think there's any like no one knows. As far as times, Pete's right. So you can look into like when your viewers are on the most. Or YouTube will tell you when your viewers are viewing your channel or your content the most. Thing is, that's a snapshot of a microcosm, especially unless your account's like 100,000 subs. Like I have 7,000 or 8,000 subs or whatever. Looking at that is only going to tell me what the people who follow my channel are watching at that time, not what all of YouTube is watching. So you really, if you want to know the best, in theory, time to post a YouTube video, it's supposedly Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern to Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Those are supposedly the best times to post a video. But honestly, Adam, you're not going to see a difference from your video to your video until you have a huge account. And none of us in this conversation have a huge account. So we don't have like the
Speak
knowledge.
for yourself.
We don't have the knowledge to be like, well, this is the thing that does it. And honestly, I think those big accounts, they have a lot of insight, but they can't tell you the secret sauce because no one knows it. There's just best practices. So just, one thing that Pete said it, it's really important that you need to be consistent. And that's always been my problem is consistency. Whenever I'm posting like videos every week, I notice gains and I notice traction. And I haven't done one in a month now, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know when the last time I did one is. And the numbers are they just dwindle. So Tamar, the really successful folks, Four Eyes, Brad, all these guys, they put out videos regularly and they kill it. But then you got someone like Paul Jackman who doesn't put out a video for months, and then he puts one out and kills it again.
It's also
it's because Paul Jackman's a draw. Yeah, he's a draw. He's a spectacle. He's you see a Jackman video come out, you're like, I gotta watch it. What silly editing thing is he doing this time? You have to know what he did in this video.
How big is his head?
How big is his head? Yes.
Right. So there's these things that
slightly.
Yeah, there's these things you like as a consumer of content you look for, and they are giving us that on some level. So there's no special answer. You can ask for specifics and stuff, and there'll be answers for that. But anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on that situation. Long answer. This next question is from Casey Reeves over at CReeves Makes. It's a written in. He says, would you rather have a separate gallery IG account for all of your beauty shots or use a website? I've been having clients ask if there's a gallery that they can quickly reference rather than scrolling through all of my process shots. Dan?
100% a website for sure. I mean, that's where you could put your portfolio on it. It just looks more professional in my opinion. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't have a functioning website yet. For sure. Website.
I saw the
answer.
rough draft. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a really rough draft right now.
It's really nice.
So rough. Tell your mother likes it, Trebek.
Pete, what would you do?
I would also say website, but I mean, if it's something that you're consistently making, dude, throw some glamour shots up on your Etsy. If you're selling something consistently, get some good photos out there. Look at Mike's site. If he didn't have his website up, he could just send somebody to his Etsy. There's beautiful photos in there. So
but you're not. But he's not listing his big works.
Fair.
Right.
On Etsy.
If you're trying to show
his
like
large
glamour
products.
shots, yeah, you want that. That or what some people do, even if you want to keep them on platform on Instagram, you can just post stories like glamour shots and then save them to a highlight reel like on your page.
Yeah, no one watches those, but yeah. No, I mean, that's a good idea. I'm not disregarding that idea. That's a good idea because they're available on your bio in your page, but no one watches them like overall. But if you send someone to your bio and say, hey, my highlights are down there.
Can you make a direct link to a highlighted story?
You can link it out.
I think you could probably do the 3 buttons and do copy link or something like that.
Let's find out right now.
But I think it's definitely website. And here's the reason. This is what I'm in the middle of right now. I mean, you can curate it your way.
I 100% agree, by the way. Yes.
If you put people on Etsy and on Instagram, those are great hosting options. But on your own website, it's all presented in your style.
You can share a highlight, by the way.
But the big reason why I'm going to WordPress is, for me, I want the ad revenue from the foot traffic from my site. I don't get any of that from Instagram or Etsy. So that's for me, I'm trying to get as many eyes on my site as I can, because if you're going to be a successful content creator, you need people going to a website. That's where you're going to get the most traffic. If you're some sort of well, anyway, that's for me.
Good question.
There's just no question about it being your website. And then what Pete was saying about, if you have an Etsy page, that's a great portfolio, and there should be beauty shots in that. If you're having an Etsy store, your shots should be beauty shots anyway.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about Etsy though. Like if you go to Etsy and you're showing off your beauty shots there, doesn't Etsy say, hey, if you like this, you might also like this from other makers? And that's not necessarily.
Yep. But Etsy does also have one thing that your website may not, and that is a rating system.
Oh, right.
your
rating system,
reviews.
not AIDS.
Like it's something, and you know, there's, I mean, how many times you've gone to an Etsy page and there's some beautiful piece that is not in the store, but is there in the photo, and people might reach out, be like, hey, do you still make this? You know, because they see the photo, because the photos are there in the reviews. So starting to think about it. It's not, again, it's not perfect. I'm just thinking outside the box. The website is the number one answer. 100%.
For sure.
For sure. For sure.
So for sure. The next question is from Kimani Strayhorn.
Kimani von
And
Strayhorn.
he has this to say.
Hey guys, this is Kimani from Band Tree Designs. Quick question this week. When you guys were, setting up business accounts to kind of separate the finances, was it important to find a bank or, financial institution that, had like cashback rewards on a card or, special business kind of interest related things associated with it? Or was it more so just, I have a bank now, I like a bank, I'll just make a separate business account for that bank and just throw my money in it? Okay, bye.
So I'll go first real quick. For my Coffee Custom Builds bank account, I have a banker who's a very close friend of mine. I trust him implicitly. There was no question where I was going to take Coffee Custom Builds bank account was with him. And it's very accessible for the business banking account that I needed. Different banks have, different business account options, and you need to search around. But for what I did need, I confirmed with my friend who is my banker. I said, well, will you be able to service me, for my needs on this? And he's like, yeah, 100%. So I trusted him and we went there, and I'm glad I did. So I'm with the bank I'm with now. But when me, Dan, and Pete set up the general partnership for AWP, he was straight up and said, hey, we're not going to be able to service your business entity as well as someone else. So we took it to another bank account who actually, it ended up being, I have a friend who worked there as well. And we got our situation's tough because the three of us live in different states, and there's some different things we had to sign and documents had to be done, obviously not in person, and you have to get with a bank that will work with that. So you need to do some research. You don't want to do no research, but you want to, if you have someone you trust, then work with them. And then in terms of like reward points, everyone has different feelings about credit cards. I really like Chase credit cards because I'm tied in pretty hard on their Ultimate Rewards program. I pay everything with my Chase Sapphire Reserve. Everything gets paid on that. Every single bill that I can put on that gets paid on that. We just pay it off every month, and we get a ton of reward points from that. So when I opened up a credit card for Coffee Custom Builds, I did it through Chase through the Freedom Unlimited, and all those points also go to my Ultimate Reward pot of points too. So I get to use all those. So find a credit card that's going to give you the best advantage for what your situation is, like your individual situation, I think. So Dan, what'd you do? I can't wait to hear your answer because you said no one's going to like it.
Shoebox.
I opened a bank account at Menards, and I just put all my money in a bucket.
Bank of Menards.
No, I just go to the bank I've been going to since I was a teenager, and I said, hey, I own a business now, so what can you do for me? And they showed me the way, and I was like, okay, this is the way.
Do you know?
And I didn't worry about points or reward programs or anything like that. My wife does all the finances for the household, so she takes care of that, and she signed me up for a rewards card, and she said, here, use this one. And I'm like, okay, ma'am. Aye. So that's how I do that. I'm pretty hands off when it comes to that stuff. I just spend money. My wife pays for everything.
Dan's a trophy wife.
I am the trophy wife. Look at this. Look at this beard.
Jeez.
Pure size. You have a beard right now. Is that like an April Fool's joke on your wife? Like, shows you I got a beard.
Pete, stop making fun of me and tell me about your financial situation.
Go to Pete as soon as possible, please. Yeah. In this joke.
I mean, one of the best things you can do is just separate your finances, because a lot of us, let's be real, are well, none of us here, but a lot of people are keeping their businesses or their side hustles, whatever you want to call it, within their own finances, and you try to separate it as much as you
never
can.
Do that.
Well, for people that do it as like a side gig, they're not really looking to like do it as like a business. I mean, I did it like that for a while, but I kept very detailed spreadsheets of like every in and out to make my taxes easy. The second animal style finances. So the second I opened up a separate account for my business, it made my finances so freaking easy. And the thing is, you're not gonna be getting rewards from your checking account or savings account, depending which
No.
one you open. There's no rewards there unless you open up a savings account, but realistically, checking is probably the best way to go. And the credit cards, like Mike uses Chase because he has that Chase account too, but like you don't technically have to go with that. You could go with maybe, I don't know, Capital One or whatever has like the best.
Oh
rewards.
yeah. Whatever one has the best rewards at the time. Like I said, I just went with Chase because I have that card. That's
Exactly.
dope,
So-
and it has a bunch of stuff.
Like there's, as far as like which bank, it doesn't really, or which bank account, like it just doesn't really matter. Sometimes there's benefits to it being a certain type of business account. I use TD Bank just mainly because I've been using them for years.
Say that
Plus,
again.
It sounds like
what the bank?
TD Bank. It's
Hello, and
TD
welcome to TD
It's
Bank.
TD Bank. Toronto Dominion Bank. It's TD Bank. Yeah, it's TD Bank.
It's a
I love
TD
TD
Bank.
Bank. TD Bank is great. So I've been using TD Bank.
She's my cherry pie.
Demonetized.
On
yeah,
stage at the TD Bank is
TD Bank.
Amber.
TD Bank, right down the street from the Bear House Bank.
Thank you, MIRKA. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
God, MIRKA, I'm so
I'll just
sorry.
delete all that out.
So anyways, I use TD Bank. No, but that's the one I've been using for years. I have other accounts for them. I have a shared accounts for them. I did trading with them as well through Ameritrade. So like, it just go with the bank that you want. As far as the credit card goes, and again, Mike kind of said it right, is like everyone's got a different opinion on credit cards. Don't get a business credit card. You're better off doing a debit card until you got enough funds to like easily knock out these payments all the time, because there's financing that you can get on certain machines or with certain businesses. You don't want to be putting your business on a credit card. That's a huge mistake.
Don't
Like-
put your shop on credit.
Potentially disastrous. Like again, there's 0% financing or very low financing through, like if you're getting a large tool from a company, that's one thing. Do not put your tool or your business on a credit card unless you have all that money and then some in your account to cover it. You can take the benefit of those points. Those points are great, but don't screw yourself over. TD Bank. That's it.
I have one more thing to
Yeah,
add.
go ahead.
The thing that I forgot to mention, the thing that I think is going to upset you guys. I have a business account at my bank solely because I need somewhere to cash checks that say Daniel Dunlap Photography or Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, so that I could put that in that account and then transfer it to my personal account, because that's where all my money goes. That's the thing
that make
that
us
you guys
upset?
Huh?
Why would we care about that?
I don't know. I thought,
So
I thought that would upset you.
you deposit into your account and then move the money into your.
Yeah.
So you're paying yourself a salary. But you're
Yeah.
doing your taxes on that later. Yeah.
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 Well, you can
You
withdraw.
guys are okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can
Cool.
withdraw.
I thought you were going to kick me out. Okay, cool.
It's fine.
Go, go, go.
What-
We already
you
cleared
can
it with
withdraw-
Kayla.
I mean, you're sole proprietor. What are you? DBA.
I'm sole prop right now. Or
Yeah, so you don't.
I'm
you can
sole
do- you can
prop
handle
for
your money
Daniel
however you want.
Dunlap Photography, and the DDWW is doing
It's
business
DBA.
as DBA. I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
so you don't
it's
have to
a-
like don't pay yourself a salary. It's a withdrawal whenever you
Oh
want.
yeah, basically it's all one pot.
I
You
think-
just have multiple
Yeah.
accounts to keep it separate in your mind.
my
That's how I am
photography
with
is the
Kayla.
parent company to DDW. It's weird.
You're
I
a
don't know.
sub to yourself? Wow.
I think so. Something like that. I don't know. My
Fancy.
accountant takes care of all of it. I don't know
So
anything.
is Daniel Dunlap Photography a shell company with offshore accounts?
Yes, in the
Okay. God, it's
The
in the
Caymans.
Cayman Islands.
The Gaiman's Island. This next question
Look,
from
look,
Moses
another
Cho.
question.
No, oh, look, shiny question. Not really sure how to answer this one, but we'll give this one a shot, I guess. Moses Cho.
Hey guys, it's Moses with Chosen Craft Co. And I want to legitimize this question because I think a lot of us are curious. So, how are you guys sponsored? And I don't mean it in an offensive way. I hope you guys don't take it the wrong way. But like, you guys are awesome, and you guys are great help to the community and great makers, of course. So, what I guess another form of question is, why do you deserve this sponsorship? I want you guys to think about it and just really let me know what you guys think. This is gonna be fun.
Pete, you're pointing to yourself. Go first.
Mike.
Okay.
No, I'm being dead honest. The reason we're sponsored, or we got sponsored as early as we did, was Mike. And his drive and determination of like, guys, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna go and do it right. Like the thought was like, let's have fun, let's have a blast, let's do this podcast for the community, but like let's make it worth our while to do it, because we're not getting rich off of this. We're making it worth our while.
No.
Yeah. So Mike was very driven at that. He's still to this day our closer for any kind of sponsorships and stuff. But to answer the second part of
closer,
the closer, yeah, because this is what he does all day, and I like we wouldn't be where we are without Mike closing these deals and doing all this stuff and being as driven as, because me and Dan are very much like oh, let's just have fun, like let's see where it goes, and Mike's like, no, we're gonna do it like this, and we're like, yes sir. So we knock it out. No, but we you know, it's a good dynamic because he gets us.
Doofy reporting for duty, sir.
And the other part of it, it's like, well, what? And Moses, this isn't like an attack, but who the hell are you, or who the hell do you think you are? I'm kidding, but really, who do you think you are? Why do you think your work is valued at a certain amount? Is you set your value and you prove it. So we did the same. We provided a service. We grew a community. We had the numbers to prove it because we rallied a community around us, and we assigned a monetary or item value to that and presented it to the brands. And they either said no or they negotiated, or usually they were like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it.
and we're like, whoa, we're way low.
Yeah. Like, whoa, we should have asked for $10. Should have doubled our money. So,
Dang.
you know, that's my short, long answers, Mike. And basically, if you build it, they will come. Mike?
So obviously lighthearted Moses. It's hard to answer. Like, I hate talking about when there's like one of those questions, it's like, describe yourself in 3 sentences. Hate that. It makes me so uncomfortable trying to answer that stuff. So I can't really do that accurately. But so this episode's brought to you by MIRKA, right? And you know, it took a while to get that relationship up and running, and I worked really hard to get that relationship running. I got well, I won't go into some of the details, but it took me showing that I could provide them a value to get that relationship open. And then when that relationship opened up, the value was proven. And then I said, hey, I got these other guys that I know can prove a value for your brand as well. And then that opened up. So that's as much detail as I can give without betraying my trust with that brand and that relationship that I have with them. So I can't give any more detail than that. But with any relationship with any brand, obviously we've had multiple sponsors on the show. It's about a relationship. It's not about anyone owing anyone anything ever. So it's about going, hey, I or you or whoever it is, you go to this brand and you need to, one, have a relationship. Unless you're the type of person who goes, look, here's my numbers. This is what I can do for you. Like, first conversation, that's kind of a tough sell. It's not as tough a sell when you go to someone with, hey, we've been working with each other for like 5 months now. I've got this thing. I'd like you to put your eyes on it and see if it's going to be a value for you. That's what I try to do with people. So that's what I did with, you know, some of the sponsorships we've had. So they don't owe us anything. We both mutually, and when I say we, I mean the podcast and that brand, we enjoy working together, and there's a mutual benefit there. Obviously, there's money exchanged, so it's a business relationship too. And that has to be honored, you know. So we joke around. Obviously, we don't want this show to go off the rails when MIRKA is our sponsor. I made the joke earlier. I already forgot what it was. And then Dan said, oh, MIRKA, thanks for sponsoring. That's a long running gag we have with the show. Obviously, we wouldn't want to say anything that would actually offend or upset MIRKA. And we know that what we said isn't going to actually upset them, right? We really have a good relationship with them, and we're really happy to be partnered with them. So they don't owe us anything. We do owe them something because they did pay us. But without that sponsorship in the conversation, the relationship between all of us and them is good. So we're partnered and working with each other. It's a comfortable business relationship that we are enjoying.
Collaboration.
And that's how collaboration. Yeah. Right. It's a business relationship. So no one owes each other anything. We're mutually benefiting off each other's relationship, and we're trying to keep each other happy. Dan.
I had a sort of similar conversation with somebody else in the community not that long ago in DMs. And basically what I told him was, if you're trying to court a brand, you're doing just that. You're courting the brand. You're not going to go in hard sell like Mike said. It's going to be a really tough sell. It's like going out to a bar and meeting your potential significant other. If you're going to make them your soulmate or whatever,
or a customer even. I
yeah,
mean, it's like a relationship of any type. But yeah,
right. I'm
sorry,
making an analogy.
Yeah.
So like if you have a spouse or whatever, you didn't just like throw everything on the table and say, "Here's what I got. You want to marry me?" You courted
Here's
that
my
person.
salary. I'm
right.
cool.
Right. Exactly. You courted that person. You made an effort, and you took your time, and you gave them little compliments. Said, "Hey, you look nice today."
Thank you.
Stuff like that. So you got to move a little slow, and it's getting brand sponsorship is kind of the same way. You got to take it slow and comment on their posts and say, "Hey, this looks nice today. You look nice today. Great job." Just take it slow, move into their DMs a little bit, start a conversation, make real relationships. You can't just go, here's who I am, and here's my numbers. What do you think? Doesn't work that way. That's all I got to add.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
No one deserves or owes. Well, we don't deserve anything, and we don't owe anything to anyone, and vice versa. It's because we built a relationship. That's how it needs to be done.
Dan,
we
do
why don't you do
people? Giveaway.
Giveaway?
Sorry, I was trying to segue. You beat me to it.
All right. I guess we're doing the giveaway.
Well, that was fun. Yeah, giveaway time.
You ruined it.
So last week, MacBeath sponsored giveaway. They gave away a Freud Dado stack, and that winner was John Grubb. Again,
This guy.
I'm pretty sure this guy has hacked my computer.
Snap into a cheater.
Snap into. Yeah, John Grubb won again. Like I said, this is all random. I pull a name, and if it is who it is, that's the way it is. Or something. Words are hard.
That's the way it is.
So congrats, John. This week,
again,
sponsored by MacBeath Hardwood, they are going to give away a $50 gift card or like credit to their store, and they carry lots of stuff, lots and lots of stuff. Tools, finishes, consumables, you name it. And they're also going to give away a shirt and a hat, probably with their logo on it. That's what I would imagine. It would be weird if they gave away
not just any hat.
It would be weird.
Just a blank Richardson hat.
Anyway, this, ladies and gentlemen, if my math is correct, and I am the math guy, this is.
I thought you were the numbers guy.
No, I'm a math guy, not the numbers guy. I can't do numbers. I'm just the math guy. If my math is correct, this is like a $70,000 value. I mean, the cost of shirts and hats are like way up.
Way overshoot the moon.
They funny enough, they get the shirts from Woodpecker. The hats are from Festool. So,
right.
Anyway, I have one code phrase written down, and if you guys have something else, you can chime in. But I have Pixelated Pete.
That's it. That's the winner.
There we go. There's your code phrase, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Pixelated Pete. Send that to us in an email to awpgiveaway@gmail.com. Rumor has it I may have said the wrong email last week, and if that is true, you're wrong, not me. awpgiveaway@gmail.com. Thanks for playing. Back to the show.
Pixelated Pete. Okay.
Pixelated?
Pixelated Pete.
Pacci.
I forget what we were even talking about when I wrote that.
Who knows?
Must have been Japanese. I don't know.
That's inappropriate.
I think it's when Mike was singing Cherry Pie. I don't know.
No. I was going to sing that right then, but I think once per show is going to keep our relationship with MIRKA going strong. So this next one's from Nathan O'Grady. He's from Ireland, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Nathan O'Grady
first time caller.
He doesn't sound like he's in
Your
Ireland.
Latest episode talking about teak made me wonder. I just got a teak dining table from my in-laws that they bought about 30 years ago. It's in pretty decent shape, but showing signs of wear. And the top is obviously a veneer because it has some chips out of it. If I was asking this about walnut, I'd assume you'd say dark Starbond to fill the cracks and refinish. But what would you use with teak? Would it still be Starbond? Would it be something else?
Veneer.
Thanks. Love to hear your thoughts.
Dan.
Well, I think it highly depends on how thick that veneer is. You know, if it's just like a 16th or is. Did he say that?
3-inch.
3-inch veneer. It's a slab veneer right on top.
Oh, well, that makes all the difference.
Or an MDF.
Yeah, if that sucker was solid teak, I'd say, you know what? You sell that from under their noses, and you get them something from IKEA and say, "Look what I did." But man, if it's just veneer, you could try like a brown Starbond, maybe.
Dang it, you took my answer.
But you know, be careful sanding that off. That's the best I got, I think. Pete, you look like you have something you want to say.
A small part of me almost wants to say like, well, depending on how big this thing is and how easily you could get teak veneer. Maybe if you have a MacBeath hardwood next to you, they've got entire drawers of it. I mean, just re-veneer the thing. That could be an option. If it's really bad, I don't know how bad these are. I don't know if he's got like 16 penny nails in there or something.
Oh, so use your CNC is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I mean, I know it
Cheater
sounds
machine.
a little drastic, but like if it's already on like a substrate, just glue it right on top and like, you know, match the edges or something. It might look pretty good. If you can get the veneer, to match, it's a quick, easy patch. That has to be correct because it rhymed. Mike, you go.
What are
you gonna say? So stupid,
know.
like brown Starbond.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't use dark Starbond, you idiot. Use brown Starbond and use promo code coffee for 15% off. No, I would, if you could get hold of some veneers, that's the best option. I agree with Pete, because you could actually just cut like a circle out and then lay it over the top of the bad spot and then cut the circle around that, peel out the bad piece and put it in there, but then it might not even match. I don't know, man.
Maybe cut
This
like a
is a really-
slit where if there's grain lines there, cut that out and put another like a patch in.
These are options.
Yeah, reach out to
So
Nick
we're just
Pacci.
giving you options. None of them are really good. Nick Pacci, yeah. He's always patching things up.
At Pacci Custom Builds.
Speaking of Nick Pacci, this is our next question. Is from Nick Pacci. Here we go.
Hey guys, Nick from the Working Grain. So this week I got a question on filling pocket hole screw holes. So obviously I would love to go with a domino or a biscuit joiner, but right now the budget just is not in my favor. So pocket holes just make sense in terms of a stability standpoint for this. The product is going to be painted, so I was thinking maybe flush cutting dowels or maybe a wood filler, but any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, guys.
Dan.
First of all, why were you calling him Nick Pacci? His name's Nick Paccia. I don't understand. Is there a joke there that I'm not getting? Is there an inside joke?
Nope.
We were notified via a courier letter that the A is silent.
A letter from his lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nick Pacci. Filling
Just drop
pocket
the A.
holes.
Why confuse people? Just take it out of the word.
Right?
Change your name.
I don't understand.
Change your name. Legally change it to fit to make our life
lifestyle.
easier. Fit our lifestyle.
So on the
Sorry,
cabinets
Dan,
I
go
just made, I filled the pocket screw holes,
PHs.
yeah, whatever.
PWH.
With the little wooden plugs you can actually get from Craig. For some reason I had a bunch, and I just used those. I think they were maple, and just put in some speed set, and then flush trimmed them and sand them, and it looked great because I was painting it, so it didn't matter. That's what I would do. If you're it would depend on if you're painting it or if you're staining it. What are you doing with the piece? That's my answer. Mike, enlighten me.
I mean, not going to do that, but same. I mean, if you're staining it, use those wooden plugs. If you're painting it, just you could even shove the old glue and sawdust in that thing and cover it up as long as it's going to sand pretty flat. So, or wood filler, DAP, or whatever, Timbermate. MacBeath carries that. So yeah, I mean, those are your options. So, I mean, I don't know what other options there are.
Lots of
You
options.
can put epoxy in there, spend $70 on filling pocket hole screws. But anyway, Pete.
I would say order plugs, like the wooden plugs. So Craig makes ones that are like you can actually, they have pine, they have oak, they have maple, some other ones, but you can get third-party ones. I literally just looked it up online for $50. It's like $11 from Craig, which is not that bad. But then you can just get like these general tool ones, 50 for $4.28. That's like free basically, so like that's
they're paying you to take them.
They're literally paying you to take them. So I would just get the plugs. There's no point in you cutting dowels and then having to cut all of them flush. Just get one of these suckers. They're already cut at the perfect angle to match. All you have to do is just get it like somewhat flush, a little proud, sanded flush. You're not even going to see them. And it's better than the hole filler because when that stuff dries out, it like dips sometimes. When
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up.
Okay.
Yeah, get the plugs. Hella cheap.
Yeah, they are cheap. I'm looking at them here. I've never really looked into them. I've always just
I've used them on projects before. I got the third-party ones, and I got like a big old bag for probably like $10.
B.O.B.
I think they were on sale at Menards once on an end cap. They were on clearance or something, and I picked them up years ago.
Nice.
Yep.
So I had them. Well, there you go, Nick Pacci. Hope you're happy. All right, this next question is from Ben Miller at Squachin Woodworks.
Hey guys, it's Ben from Squachin Woodworks. So my question this week is, what kind of skills do any of y'all have that you kind of hate that you have? I mean, something that you don't really like to admit to people that you know how to do it because you really don't want to. I mean, for me, mine would be mud and drywall. I'm good at it. I can do it. I hate doing it. The cleanup's horrendous. It gets everywhere. I'd just rather not mud again in my life if I ever have to. So, what about you guys? Do you have any skills like that? Thanks.
Dan, what's your secret skill that you don't want anyone to know about?
I'm an amazing opera singer, but I don't like to tell people about it. I don't like to brag about it. People are always asking me to sing opera for them.
Just nonstop requests.
Nonstop request. I go out to the bars and they're like, "Oh, sing us some opera, Dan." And I'm like, "No, I'm here to have a good time. Opera's not fun."
Stop asking me to sing opera.
Stop it. No. Okay, fine.
I don't have any real skills, so I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Real skills.
Bandsaw skills.
Well, as far as like,
true.
I guess woodworking, whatever. Like, I mean, I used to frame houses and do construction jobs. Like, I can unfortunately do drywall and framing and all the like. I actually do a lot of plumbing. I used to do a lot of plumbing, and a good amount of electrical. But like, I don't really advertise that. I don't want people to like call me over to do handyman work, especially drywall. Like we were saying, like drywall, man, drywall sucks. It's so bad. But it like on another note. I know I bring it up here sometimes, but like I do not advertise to people that I'm like Apple Mac Genius certified on all their equipment. Like I can fix it all, troubleshoot it, all that. Like I do not advertise that on my regular day-to-day because people ask way too many questions. They're like, "Oh, you worked at Apple?" Yeah. Hey, I have an iPhone, and because everyone does. And then what's ironically at my current job, because it's a Mac-based job, I don't advertise that I am very proficient with PCs and Windows because we do use Windows in some instances. And I'm always like all shoulders, like, I don't know. Wonder how that works. We should probably not use PCs, but like I fully know how to fix it and do it. But I just hide that because I don't get paid for that. So, there's that. What about you, Mike? What special skills do you have aside from burlesque? Remember, we have a sponsor. Keep it clean.
I'm extremely giving lover. No, I don't know. I can't think of anything. I don't know.
That's something you wish people didn't know.
Right. Just keeping them away. It's just really hard. Just constant requests. Yeah.
I wish people didn't know my middle name was Aloysius.
It's not a skill, but nah, I can't really think of anything.
I have something else to add.
No.
If you can't think of anything. Pete
go.
reminded me, I actually went to school to be a programmer. So I have a little knowledge about writing code and stuff like that. And people always assume that I'm good at like fixing computers. So I never bring that up. Like as soon as like any of your family members know that you're going to school for any type of computer work, they're like, hey, can you come fix my computer? So no, I never bring it up.
Yep. You hide it.
I like to play dumb. No, I don't know. It's been too long.
It's like, oh, that's really weird. I would like call someone and you're like, I know how to
Call
fix
the
it, but it's gonna be
Geek
30
Squad
minutes
or something.
I don't have 30 minutes right now. Good skills, guys. Except
Nice.
Mike. Mike's got no skills.
No skills.
Aloysius.
Except the ones that everyone knows about.
Michael Aloysius
Right.
Coffee.
Michael Coffee
That's why they
Milk
call me
Coffee.
Mac. Coffee milk coffee. Gross. All right, the next one's gonna be from Tyler. Tyler Issacs. Woodwork and Whiskers.
Yeah.
No, Woodwork.
Hey guys,
No, that's Ash.
Tyler here, Wood and Whiskers.
Wood and Whiskers Trading Company.
So we have the opportunity here real soon to free up some space in the shop, some actually significant space in the shop. And thinking about stepping back and maybe trying to draw up the space a little bit, maybe model it, try to get a better idea of how we could get a better flow. And we're just in a smaller 2-car garage, but I wanted to know if you guys had ever had the time or, maybe given the time, would you draw your shop up and maybe lay things out differently? I know, Pete, with you going into potentially a new space here soon, have you given that thought or maybe, have a new optimal layout that would work well for you? Thanks.
Well, he mentioned Pete,
Do I get to go first? So,
I guess.
well, congrats on the extra space. I don't know what tool or car or wife you're getting rid of, but congrats on extra space. As far as, here's the thing. Whatever house we end up in, the second we get the keys, I'm measuring that garage and best be damned, I'm going to draw everything out. Actually, before that, we're going to do the survey and like measure everything out. I'm going to make sure I have everything laid out on paper because I want it to be extremely efficient. I want an island in the center. I want to be able to move around and I want to have room to actually do stuff to, like actually build a bed. That's been like my benchmark for like how much room I want. I want to be able to build a bed like Dan does while still being able to work on other stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely going to model it out if I have the time. What?
I built a bed, but I couldn't work on other stuff.
Fair. But you can at least walk around still. Still, I can't do that right now. I can build a bed, but I can't put the center in because it'll sit around. It'll sit around my table saw. I have to assemble it around it. Yeah, I'm gonna model it out. I think that'll be fun. But if you're already in the shop, it might be tough to like move a lot of stuff around and redo the whole thing. I would maybe pull out anything that's on wheels, pull it out into your driveway and just start relaying stuff out because there's certain things you're probably not going to want to move, but yeah, play around with it a bit, see what fits where and where the power is, where the dust collection is, and use that space efficiently or just leave it open. You never know that space is going to be used. Trust me. Dan, what about you?
I think we kind of touched on this last week, right?
When
we talked about what we wish we'd done differently. I'm pretty sure that my shop isn't set up the most efficient it could be. I would love to be able to do that, but at this point, like it doesn't make any sense to, just stop everything and relay it out. Maybe if I ever change shops, I'll have that opportunity, but right now it's not something that I think about too much, especially now with the dedicated dust collection, like that's going right to the tool. That would throw a wrench into things. Mike?
I constantly think about how to make my shop more efficient and increasing productivity. It's constantly on my mind. I can't think of a way to make my shop more efficient, and it sucks. I'm just at this point, the only option is to get into a bigger shop. It's the only option. I had a friend come over Wednesday night and he needed something sanded, and the board was 12 feet long. And we were running through my drum sander, and I was like, "Gosh, this is a nightmare." I couldn't fit. I mean, we had to like move my drum sander out into my driveway so we could run out because my shop's just too small. It's just too small to do like big size pieces. It just is a bummer. So
How'd
in
you
terms of when I
stabilize that
actually-
with your drum sander? Do you have like?
I have the in-feed and out-feed, but we physically held it and ran it through.
Okay.
It was a nightmare. Real nightmare.
A lot of praying and hope.
Right. I need those roller stands for it is what I need. But
Yeah, that's what I was asking. The roller stands.
I need those. But
Yeah, but if you put it in a driveway, that's out the window. The driveway's not that flat. So,
well, you can adjust them.
I guess. Fine.
But I
Fine.
mean-
We like logic. Always right.
But either way, I mean, for me, I can't think of a way to make my shop more efficient. I just can't. I think I've done a pretty good job making it efficient. Looking back now, I kind of think maybe I could have flipped the arrangement that I have now and put the CNC where my main shop is and put my main shop back over there, and I could have ran this joint. Anyway, it doesn't matter. When I get a new shop, I use Shaper, whatever 3D modeling program you have. I'm going to design the shop in there first, and try to get that going. But I feel like I'm pretty good about shop layouts in my head, and I'm really happy with how I laid out my shop. Ultimately, it's just I need more space. So I do look forward to the day when I can put together my dream shop. Like, that's going to be so sick. Like, I just can't wait to have everything where I'm not just like bumping into stuff all the time and tripping over things that are on the ground. It's just so frustrating. It frustrates me beyond belief. I really don't like inefficiencies. So anyway, I would just make it in a program. You can usually, for your program, you can find 3D models of tools online or 2D models of tools online. You can just download them, like the little file or DXFs or DWGs of those things. I know SketchUp has them in there. So anyway, just an option, something to think about. Definitely at least draw it up on a piece of paper first. So just so you can kind of see. But also,
Did I
the other thing
totally
to keep in
not
mind
answer
is-
that? Was he asking how to do it? And I totally skipped that part?
I thought so. Maybe I missed it.
Well,
Because my answer would be pencil and paper.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad way to do it. Just measure the outward
No.
dimensions, because usually height doesn't matter. But think
But
about
also-
dust collection and power.
Keep in mind that like those things don't always transfer exactly. So like even when you do like a 3D model or a pen and paper, you still could find yourself unhappy with the layout. So sometimes real world is hard to get on a piece of paper. It's like when you start a design, like when you make a design of a piece of furniture, sometimes you don't, well, a lot of the times you don't follow that exact design exactly. You have to wing something. So, but anyway, there's definitely ways. It's definitely good to plan. But that's it for questions. Do we want to jump on out of here? Do we want to say our outros and our thank yous?
Yeah, might as
I
well.
think we do.
We're an hour and 20 in.
Yeah, we're doing
Sounds-
pretty good.
Yeah, we're
Ish.
doing good.
Big thank you to MIRKA for sponsoring this week's episode. Guys, do not forget, I meant to mention it at the front of the show, but next week Izzy Swan is on the show. We're very excited to have Izzy on the show. That's going to be very cool. He's big time stuff, so that's really exciting. We're really pumped to have him on here. Keep checking out the podcast. Keep sharing the podcast. Keep telling all your friends and family about the podcast if you think they'll like it. If you know anyone who thinks they'll like the podcast, or who you think will like the podcast, let them know. Share it in your stories. We love that you guys do that. It's amazing. Sometimes we will even share your story in the pods account.
Yep.
I'm looking right at Dan.
Whenever
and
we're
throwing
actually
shade
on
right
them.
now. No. Yeah. So big thank you to everyone who shares the show. Thank you for all the love you guys give us. If you want to be a patron, go to patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast. Send us any questions you have to anotherwoodshop@gmail.com. Get your giveaway entries, which was sponsored by MacBeath. Big thank you to MacBeath. To awpgiveaway@gmail.com. And always keep listening. We really appreciate you guys so much. That is it for us. Let's get on out of here, okay?
Yeah.
Bye.
Love you long
Bye.
time.
Bye.
Love you, bye.
Shucks and Fits. Kill it.